Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Google Digital Garage this morning on this splendid Wednesday morning. Nearly said Tuesday because of the bank holiday. Feels like I'm a day behind, but welcome along, everybody, and I hope that you are well today. You're joining us for Get Started with Digital Advertising. So we've got a good session ahead, just on an hour to run through some of the key concepts of digital advertising, looking at search advertising, display, and social advertising as well. So a good hour ahead. Get a pen and paper ready, or your note-taking device of choice. That will be really, really good. This session will remain live for the next 24 hours on the link that you came in on if you need to revisit any of the areas that we cover. So let me introduce myself. I'm Glenn, and I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. So I'm an experienced digital skills trainer with a background in consulting, management consulting, business team leadership. So hopefully I can add a little bit of value to this session for you. Certainly helping businesses really identify ways to grow have been one of the key areas that I've worked in for many, many years. And digital advertising, get yourself out there, maximizing your online presence is something that's really, really important for pretty much all businesses these days. So we'll cover that very, very shortly for you. Okay, so what I need to be able to do is also remember to introduce the wonderful Alison, who we have in the chat function today. Now, Alison, there you'll see her hopefully either underneath your screen or to the right of your screen. Alison is a very, very experienced Google Digital Garage trainer as well. And she is going to be there to answer your questions. She is going to comment and say hello. So please do pop into the chat and say hello. That would be fantastic as well. And just let us know where you're at with digital advertising. Let us know where in the course of getting yourself set up, let us know what you're doing. Let us know why you're here today. That'd be really, really useful for us to understand. Now, just one thing to mention is I just have made sure that the captions are working. So if you do have accessibility issues, please do put on the captions, which you will again find. You can control those at the bottom of the YouTube window, and that will give you a full overview of the session and pretty much as I speak. So hopefully that is going to help you out a little bit too. Also, if you're having any difficulties with sound or with vision, in terms of seeing me or hearing me, then please do just refresh your browser. It's that age-old fix of if it's not working, shut it down and put it back on again, and everything seems to work a little bit better after that. Okay, now this session that we're running is part of a broader offering of courses from Google Digital Garage. You probably booked up on the Google Digital Garage website, which is g.co/digital garage. Alison will pop you the link for that in the chat if someone booked for you, for example. Book up for as many sessions as you like, as many times as you like as well. It's a really, really good way for you to get the experience of different trainers, different perspectives on these topics and how people work. So that can be really, really useful. There's a broad range in terms of your career, in terms of your business, lots of ways to start to help you to move forward. There's a fantastic course on there too called The Fundamentals of Digital Marketing, which it's a 40-hour video learning course. And once you've completed the assessment for that and passed, you can download a certification, can't say that word, from the site, which is endorsed by the Open University. So again, something great to put on your CV, something great for your LinkedIn profile too. All right, so let's move on and let's have a look at what we're going to cover today. We're going to be looking in the first section at understanding search advertising, being there when your customers are searching for businesses just like yours. Then in the second section, we're going to be looking at display advertising. So we're going to be increasing our visibility across relevant websites. Relevant is a really important word. Everything you do in digital marketing really does need to be relevant. And then in the third section, we're going to learn a little bit about social advertising, the power of social media, and how we can, again, best extract the best interactions and the best traffic from our social media posts and from the platforms that we choose to be on. So we're going to have a look at engaging with our customers across those networks too. Now, one of the things that we can also offer you today, I did mention about the Google Digital Garage site, the webinars that we offer, but there's also another service. The free one-to-one mentoring, you can see it on screen now, is available from Google. So if you are a small business or a charity in the UK, then sign up for the Google mentoring at g.co/UK mentoring. It's a fantastic service. Myself and Alison are part of this service, had some great outcomes. You sign up, you fill in the form, which you'll get as a result of clicking on that link or putting that link into your browser. You then get an hour on a one-to-one basis, on a virtual basis, with a digital expert, where you can talk through the difficulties or the digital challenges that you're experiencing specifically for you and about your business. So again, a fantastic service for you to consider using. Okay, now, might see you there. But let's get into the content now, and let's have a look at the first section, which was all about search advertising. Now, anyone know what search advertising is? Does anybody already engage in some search advertising? Again, pop it into the chat for us. Do get involved. Do say hello. Let's have a look at a couple of people that have already said hello. We've got Vanessa from Mumbai. Hello to you. We've got Colin Stoffenheit. David from Norway. Hello, David. Welcome along. Norway, fantastic country there. So welcome along. And if there's anyone else out there, please do just pop in and say hello for us. So search advertising, again, just put your answers in the chat for me as we go. What is it? So it's advertising on search engines like Google or Bing. You can see now the very basic setup, which hopefully most of us will have seen, in terms of a search engine results page, or a SERP, as it's well known. So at the top, you've got where the magic starts in the search query, where today that's takeaway pizza. So it's a little bit early for me for takeaway pizza. I wouldn't be looking for that quite now, but we're going to put ourselves in the mind as if it was something we wanted to look for. And you can then see in the yellow section, the highlighted yellow section, the paid ads, the search ads that come up. Now, one of the key things about this clearly is that you're on page one. Page one of Google is where everyone wants to be, because if you think about your own search habits and you think about how many pages that you likely click on, is it going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20? I think most people probably fall into maybe the first 2 or 3 before they do make a click decision to choose a business to go with. So one of the key advantages of advertising is that you come up on that first page, so your visibility is extremely, extremely high. Then underneath that, in the green section, you can see the organic listings. That's where you've got a website. That's where you're using a technique called search engine optimization to get your website to rise up through the rankings, to hopefully work its way towards page one as well. Again, so that you can be found, so that you're visible to the people looking for those businesses like yours. So that's a search engine results page. And you can see it's mainly configured in the way that you can see on the screen. Sometimes you will also get, of course, the Google business profile listings over on the right hand side, if any of those are relevant to the search that you've put into. Okay, so we've got a little case study that we're going to work through, and that we're going to apply some of the logic that we're looking at for. Now, that's Pauli's Pizzeria. It's an Italian restaurant situated in Edgbaston in Birmingham, which is in the Midlands. So you can see now why our original search on the previous page was takeaway pizza, because Pauli's is a pizzeria. Now, Pauli's got some business goals. He wants to increase sales, and he wants to know how digital advertising can actually help. So we're going to be using Pauli's business throughout this in order just to give some context to some of the concepts we're going to be talking about. Okay, so I can see a few hellos come in. Ismai's Eleanor. Hello, Eleanor from Dublin. Welcome to you. Thanks for coming along. Well Global, that's great. Hello, Helena in London. So welcome to you both. And Anakin Tudens, Anakin from Norway. Okay, a couple of people have been from Norway today as well. Welcome along. And as I say, I hope you've got a pen and paper or a note-taking device as we work through this. So let's have a look now at a process for search engine marketing. So we're going to break this down into 4 steps. I think that's a nice way to do it. Understand your customers. Very, very key first step there. Your customers are what make everything else happen. It's really, really important that you have a grasp of your customers, your ideal customer, the people that you want to click through. Then step 2, we need to find some keywords to go into our advertising that are, again, the keywords, the things that people are putting into that search engine that you can match up with, like magnets, that will draw your result, your relevant result, through to the query that's being put in the search engine. So for the purposes that we're looking at for Paulie, that would have been that takeaway pizza. Step 3, we're going to create our ad copy. We're going to make sure our advert is compelling and that it stops people in their tracks and that they want to click on it. And then 4, we're going to put all of that together. It sounds like quite a lot, but actually, once you start to get going, you can get yourself into a nice flow, and it shouldn't hopefully take too long. So let's go back to step 1 and let's understand our customers. So what does that mean, understand our customers? Surely our customers are just our customers? No, there's a lot more than that. So we have to start to think, and we have to start to think logically. So again, applying our pizzeria logic, who are our existing customers? So for Paulie, that could well be students, busy professionals, and just generally pizza lovers. Now, Paulie's is a local business because if you think he's likely got a fair amount of competition, there seem to be quite a lot of these types of establishments around. So there's only going to be a particular kind of distance or area or radius that people are likely to kind of visit or walk to Paulie's from. You know, he's a local in Edgbaston in Birmingham. So it's unlikely that people, for example, from Edinburgh are going to travel down to get pizza from Paulie's in Birmingham. So location and locality is an important thing to bear in mind. Now, we also need to understand what's important to our customers so that we are giving them the optimum experience, the things that they want. Now, when we break that down, as you can see here, we've established that we've got 3 different segments of customers. So students, busy professionals, and pizza lovers. They're people that will be searching for this type of business. So start to think about your business and the types of people that were likely to be searching for your products or services. Start to work alongside the logic that we're running along with Paulie. So where are they? Now, again, we said that local business, so that's going to be quite important. So 3 places they might be could be Edgbaston, the area that he's in, Selly Oak, which is an adjoining area, which again could well be within kind of walking distance to Edgbaston, and B15. Now that's a postcode. And that's one of the nice things about search advertising. You can be really granular with your location targeting and even target down to postcodes so that your ad will not be served up to areas that are inappropriate in terms of perhaps how far people are willing to travel. Now, what's important to all of these customers? Well, if you like pizzas, then maybe you like a variety of toppings. You don't want the same thing all the time. You might want fast delivery because you might need that convenience. You might not like cooking. You might not have that much time, I guess. Thus, fast delivery could be really important to you. Convenience on the go and authentic ingredients for those pizza lovers who want that quality experience. So now we know who the audience are, where they are, and what's important to them. So we can start to tie all of those things together to work towards that second step, which are the keywords. So when we're creating a keyword plan, we want to ensure that the keywords that we are using are encompassing, i.e. there's quite a lot of them and they cover all variations possible. It says on the screen here, what's a keyword again? So in the example you can see on the right, what's a keyword? Are the keywords. So you can see that anything that you type into a search engine is essentially a keyword, because the way that you get your results from the index presented to you on that search engine's results page is matching the keywords to the keywords that you might have put in the back end of your website or your website builder, depending on how you've built your website in the first place. So you need a keyword to match some part of the user's search query in Google. So let's explore that a little bit more with a little bit of an exercise. So we've got keywords that are closely related to your business. So for a pizzeria, you've got pizza, fast food, because pizzas fall into the fast food category, and takeaway. Takeaway food, again, quite a British thing. It's a takeaway food establishment. Keywords locally, closely related to your locality, B18, that postcode, Edgbaston and Birmingham. And then we think about how we combine those together. So we can have pizza B18, pizza Edgbaston, pizza Birmingham. You have to think about and get into the mind of your customers a little bit and think, how are they typing an establishment or me into the search engine in order to find me? And it could be a combination of any of those keywords. You could have takeaway Birmingham, takeaway Edgbaston, takeaway B18, fast food Edgbaston, fast food B18. I think you get the drift in terms of making as many combinations as possible. And in my mind, having a lot of keywords is very important. So as again, a little bit of an exercise for you. If you have a look on the page there, we've got a blue, red, yellow and green box for 4 different types of businesses. So again, like pop these into the chat for me quite quickly, because I will jump onto the answers reasonably swiftly. But if we were a mobile hairdresser in Birmingham, which of the keywords on the screen underneath those would match with a mobile hairdresser in Birmingham? Same for a phone repair shop in Birmingham. If we were a phone repair shop on the high street, then what keywords would we be using? If we were a cupcake shop in Birmingham, what keywords would we be using from those examples? And if we were an online fancy dress shop, again, which keywords would we be employing to make sure that our customers are going to be able to find us? So, for example, cupcake shop in Birmingham could be the best cupcakes in Birmingham. Now, a lot of people are using that best keyword now. So I guess make sure you can live up to the expectation, but it really could help you to get drawn into some of the searches people are putting in. One of the things about keywords too is to make sure that you've got as many synonyms, so words that mean the same thing or refer to the same thing. That's important too, because Google recognizes those as being associated with the main keyword. So mobile hairdresser in Birmingham, mobile salon, B21. So salon is something else that would be associated with maybe hairdressers. Another key thing to note there, if you were that phone repair shop in Birmingham, is that people make abbreviations. So phone repair BHAM city centre. BHAM is an abbreviation of Birmingham. So again, thinking, some people might take their time with their search queries. Some people might be on the go on their mobile devices, typing in, and they might put BHAM instead of Birmingham because they know that BHAM is going to be recognized as Birmingham. So this is how you build up good keyword lists. So there's all of your answers on the screen. Mobile hairdresser, barber Birmingham, hairdresser reviews. I don't buy anything now without looking at the reviews first to make sure it's a reputable establishment and that if something goes wrong, I know I'm going to be dealt with well, because we know that things go wrong. It's kind of how they're dealt with that to me is more important than anything else. You know, life really isn't perfect at times. So it's really about making sure that if I'm going to spend my money somewhere, that I'm going to be looked after well. So phone repair shop in Birmingham. Hello, Astro Punk joining from Germany. Welcome to you. So we've got the phone repair shop in Birmingham. Where can I fix my iPhone screen? BHAM, so that use of abbreviations. So again, take some notes off of these screens that you're seeing coming up and see how you can apply the keyword logic to you and to your business. Because then when we move on to the search adverts that we have, so we're looking at an example from inside of Google Ads. You can see that you can put all of the information that you need to put in very easily. It's all very nicely set out, intuitive kind of functionality to make it as easy for you as possible. So we've got headlines that we can put in. It even tells you the amount of characters that you can use per headline, so you can't really go wrong. That's ideal. So craft your headlines, craft your descriptions really well. And then you'll see the preview at the bottom that ad is building. So pizza takeaway in Edgbaston, fast 15-minute delivery. Pizza to you in 15 minutes, or we'll give you a free pizza. And that's CTA, that call to action, order now. You must have a CTA. Get people to understand what you want them to do, because it probably is what they want to do, what you want them to do next. That's the key element of digital advertising too. Buy now, click here, call us, download our white paper. There are so many CTAs. Again, that's a good one. Please, could you in the chat just give me an example of some good calls to action that you might already be using, or good calls to action that you might have seen that get you to do the next thing on your website journey. That's really handy too. Let's all learn from each other. And again, I'll give a shout out to anyone that does put some examples into the chat. Okay, so we're back to making our ad. We want to match here the ad headline to the customer, because headlines are important because they want to be attention grabbing and you want them to appeal to all of the things that make the customer click in relation to your product. So for the people, we saw that value convenience, they might again be in a hurry, they might be busy professionals. Then we can see that fast 15-minute delivery could be the thing that makes them choose you. The people who value an authentic experience, They might like the live Italian music to give it that ambiance. Again, all important to build up that overall picture. So again, have another quick look at this screen. So give me some examples in the chat for people who value variety. What would be important to people who value variety? And what would be important to people who value that authentic experience? So I'll give it a couple of seconds and then we'll move on and give you the answers. So again, please do think about how this will work for your business. Follow the logic through. Maybe again, follow the webinar through again later on if this is your first time and you're just getting into the whole ad experience and the whole ad logic, and work through the examples based on your business as well, because clearly you're going to have the same breakdowns that you can apply to your customers. What do they, when you think about what they want? So when we look at the examples here, you can see that for people who value convenience, you've got scheduled delivery, so you know when you're getting that pizza, and a fast 15-minute delivery. Now, for the people that like variety, the people that love their pizzas and want something different each time, 17 toppings could be really, really important to them, and a different deal every day, so that, again, you can get, people like to also feel that they're getting something above and beyond. So a deal, a bit of an offer, percentage off, maybe you buy 10 pizzas, get one free, who knows, whatever your deal might be, that again, you will appeal to people's senses and get them to click to choose you based on the offers that you've put up together. All right, some CTAs, some calls to action that have come in. Thank you, everyone, for responding. So Maheen, Athar, thanks so much. We've got buy now, subscribe, shop. Yep. Astropunk, get yours today. Vania, hello, Vania. Choose now. That's a good one. Yes, absolutely. So you're getting the gist of the calls to action. You need to be telling your audience what you want them to do next. That's a really, really crucial element of digital advertising. It's really, really key in terms of that user journey. Again, put that into a search engine of choice and look at user journey and maximizing the user journey, making it the most efficient that it possibly can be. And that often means least clicks to get people to the point where they need to be. We don't want to be clicking around all over the place and jumping from page to page and navigation bar to navigation bar and section to section. We often just want to really quick click through in order to achieve the goal of why we've gone on that website in the first place. That's important. So now that we've got all of those elements, we know our audience, we are matching our headlines, we're doing those compelling messages to pull them in. When we put it all together, what do? So we go into Google Ads and we are going to start ourselves up with a new campaign by clicking that plus button. And then we're going to choose ourselves a search campaign, because that's what the first section is about. It's the search campaign. So that's good. Again, you can see how sequential this is. Now, step 4 you can see on the screen is really, really important because it's your targeting. So you could go, if you had a business which appealed worldwide, you could click on all countries and territories. Brilliant. If you were in the UK and you just wanted the United Kingdom, but you wanted the whole of the United Kingdom, you can click on UK. But if you want to enter other locations, again, thinking about local businesses and the kind of distance that people would be willing to travel to get those services or to get those products, then the best thing that you can do is start to think about the postcodes, think about the areas and the place names. So we had Edgbaston, we had Selly Oak, for Paulie's example. So think about what's around you, the areas that are around you, and how far people are willing to travel. It can save you a lot of unnecessary clicks, because one of the keys with search advertising and any cost per click basis is going to be making sure that your ads are only being served up or reaching the people that you want them to reach, the people that are like your ideal customers at all times. Okay, so importantly now, then we want to do those targeting areas and make sure that we've done a little bit of work on that and make sure that we feel that we're happy with our radius and with the locations. Again, we don't want people from Edinburgh seeing our ads, because it would be totally unnecessary that they would see our ads. Then we want to add those keywords that we were working on previously as well. So we've got all of those combinations that we've worked on. And again, it's a really good exercise for you to think about all of the keywords that you feel your customers would enter to find a business like yours. Start to put them in a list, put them in a spreadsheet, however you want to do that. Maybe talk to some friends as well and talk to your family. How would you find my business if you were looking for me? That can be a really good way to get some ideas, because colloquialisms, the way that people speak, the words that they use can differ person to person. And of course, the meanings and the definitions and the use of words changes over time too. So keep adding to those key lists and do some keyword research online as well. Use tools like Google Trends to look at particular keywords. Even on the Google search bar, you will see when you type in pizza takeaway, you can see other examples of search queries that people are entering in the auto suggest that comes down underneath. That's a really quick way to start to get some keyword ideas too. Then you're going to create your advert once you've put all of that information in. And as you can see, you've got a preview at the bottom for mobile and desktop. Most people are probably looking for you on mobile, on the go, because we're on the go. We've got our mobile devices in our pockets and we're rushing around and we're looking online in our breaks. We're looking online at lunch times. Think about the convenience element of how people now search as long as they've got an internet connection. Build all of that into your logic in terms of targeting your customers. And then you can see the example there, how it's going to look on screen. Pizza to you in 15 minutes, or we'll give you a free pizza, order now. Again, back to that call to action. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's any questions that have come in. That's quite a busy first section, but I hope we managed to bring it to life and give you some really, really good examples of how search advertising, when you bring all of those elements together, can really, really work for you. Okay, so there's no questions at the moment. That's absolutely fine. Again, Alison will help you with the questions in the chat as we go, and I'll keep an eye out for anything. There will be another couple of pause for questions too. Also, just to mention at this stage, before the end of the presentation, if you can go to goo.gle/digital garage feedback, you can see the link there up on the screen, and let us have your feedback for the session. We'd love that. So again, that's our customer service offering to you in terms of helping us to improve the webinars that we produce and the content that's in them. Let us know how you got on, what you enjoyed, and we can help to improve our products in that way. Again, we absolutely think that feedback is key and it helps everyone to improve. So that could be another good tip for your business. Oh, okay. I've just seen a question come in. Is there a limit to the number of keywords you would put in your ad? And how would we deal with typos? That's from Ismais, Eliano, and AstroPunk. So to deal with the limited number of keywords, everything that possibly that's relevant. I don't think you can necessarily put a limit on that. For every combination of keywords and phrases that you can find, the more you've got in, the more likely you're going to match some type of search query that's being entered into the search bar. That would be my feeling on the amount of keywords that you'd enter. The more, the better, really, because the more ways that people can combine words and combine phrases and combine ways to find you, the more ways you've got to match them in the back end of your website, the better. So I hope that helps with that for you, Isbite. And then AstroPunk, how should we deal with typos? If you know there's a common typo for a keyword that's being used in your product service area, then include that typo as a keyword too, because yeah, people make mistakes. And if there isn't an autocorrect function, then potentially that could be a customer. So yeah, think about that. I would absolutely consider, if you know that there are common typos that would apply to your product or your service that you know over time is happening, include it as a keyword. It's still as legitimate as any other keyword that you've got if it's being mistyped quite a lot. So I hope that helps with your question as well. Okay, cool. So let's move into the second section, which is looking at display advertising. So display advertising, as it says on the screen, is advertising on a variety of publisher websites. So display adverts, and it says on the screen there, what are they? Well, I imagine, again, that most of us have seen some type of display advertising. They come in all shapes and sizes, as you can see there. They are the billboards of the internet. You know, when you walk down the road and you see that huge billboard off to your left or to your right, you know, that's a billboard. That's kind of like display advertising in a very, very big and physical form. So display adverts are trying to emulate that across web pages, across the net. So they come in all shapes and sizes, but they're predominantly image banners. You can use text adverts, you can use image adverts, you can use video adverts, and you can use adverts across mobile websites as well. Now, they can be quite effective in getting people to click because they're so visual. Again, that's using the psychology of what makes people tick. People love the visual form. People love the visual stimulus. So display advertising can be very, very useful as an awareness tactic for you. So how is display advertising different from search? What, in terms of what we just covered? Well, search advertising is around search queries and search engines. And search, because of where your adverts sit on the first page, are really, really good in terms of generating sales. So there's a difference there for display advertising, because your adverts will go on to different websites. You would have seen them across lots and lots of different websites. You could, as it says there, use news sites, blogs, local websites. They drive brand awareness. That's because the ad comes up on a relevant, and again, there's that word again, relevant, on a relevant website to your product or industry area or the service that you're providing, and it's like associative. So people think, okay, I'm on this website because I'm looking up, this is really good ads to have on this website, it could be useful to me, and then people click on it to see where they get taken through, which is probably through to some type of landing page. So they can be really, really useful in terms of capturing people's attention on related and relevant websites. So again, we've got that 4-step process. Understanding our customers, just as important, obviously, for display advertising as it is for search advertising. Then we want to find our placement ideas, where we want to put our ads in the first place when people see them. We want to create the ad, and then we want to put all of that together again, exactly as we did with the search engine, the search ad example. So let's think again about understanding our customers. So we remembered back from Paulie's example that we had those students, those busy professionals, and those pizza lovers. So what other sites might they be on that could be relevant to our food offering, where they might decide to click through as a result of seeing our advert? So again, think about this from the perspective of the business that you're running. What other websites, what type of websites were people who were looking for businesses like yours or wanted services like yours, where would they be? So for Paulie, then student websites. He's targeting students. Students will go on to student websites, and they might be quite happy to see an advert for your pizza service if you were Paulie. Maybe a local food directory. Again, a great place. You're in a food directory, you're in the right place, certainly. And then people see an ad for a quality establishment just like yours. They're going to click through potentially. And then food blogs as well. Yes, so people talking about food, people getting creative with food, people describing food, perhaps people describing food experiences that they've had. That could be a brilliant place for you to advertise your pizza or your food establishment. So when we're finding placement ideas, we will get a suggestion of websites that come up that we can try and match for relevance. We can look at the amount of clicks that those websites are potentially getting, or the projected amount of clicks, the amount of traffic that are going through those websites. And some of those numbers can be really, really high. Some of them can be really, really low. So you would choose accordingly, and then maybe choose to put your ad within that network on a particular website. You might have ideas of your own. Now, Google Ads is becoming much, much more intuitive. And again, there's a lot of AI now that's going into Google Ads to help you suggest for you the best sites that would potentially help you to benefit from putting your ad on. So there's a lot of work that can be done in collaboration. It's always good for you to know, to have a look around and to make those decisions. But there are functions available on all of these interfaces, and Google Ads is a brilliant example of helping you to find the right place for you to advertise on. So when we put all of that together, we're going to go and look at our ad, and we want to make our display advertising adverts visually appealing. So we can see the pizza there, great picture of a pizza, colorful, great food, looks good, is starting to now at 10:05, perhaps make me feel a little bit hungry. Perfect. That's what it's meant to do. And we've got pizza in Edgbaston, so people know where it is. Then the offer, buy one pizza, get a second one free. So that's a great offer to have there. And then you're able to click through to go to the website to order. So that's a really nice way to put an advert together. So determine how or what is going to be best for you and your website to make your advert as appealing as Paulie's there to get your customers to click through. So when we put it all together, we go into the display area. We're going to click on that campaign button again, but we're going to go onto the display campaign this time. So we've got the search campaign to the left there, but now we're going to go on to the display campaign. Now, the targeting options are going to be very, very specific again to make sure that we're not getting unnecessary clicks, because we're paying on that cost per click basis, or there is a cost per mil, which is for every time that your ad is seen 1,000 times, you get charged for it. So even if people don't take any action, if you're within the set of impressions, 1,000 impressions, every time you hit that 1,000 impression, you'll get charged. So cost per click or cost per mil depends on the most appropriate form that you think would be best for your advertising. You then choose your location. So you've got your Edgbaston and Birmingham, and you would then start to match up exactly as you did in principle for the search campaign, making sure that you're serving your ads up to the most relevant customers that you think will be looking for you. So with those website placements, as I mentioned, you've got impressions per weeklet. Takeaway.co.uk, 250,000 to 300,000 impressions a week. That's pretty high. Menuwithprice.com, 5 million to 10 million impressions per week. So that, looking at a percentage of any of those that you can see on screen could give you a reasonable click-through rate, thus hopefully driving business through to you. And then you're going to create your advert. You can see in the middle there that you've got your ad assets. That's your videos or your pictures. And you can see the example of all of that being put together on the right. So you've got pizza in Edgbaston, buy one pizza, get a second one free. So you've got your offer up. Again, people love offers. And you've got a really good picture because you've got someone enjoying the product. That's a great way to help other people think, I could have a good experience there too, as I'm sure you can kind of imagine. She's got a smiling face. She seems to be enjoying the pizza. She seems to be having a good time with the product. And that's what you want other people to do. You want to kind of excite people's imaginations with your product and with your service. You want them to want to share that exact experience. That's the point. That's how you need to plan your adverts. That's how you need to work through and make sure that everything is building the customer up to have a good experience with you and with your products or services. Smiley faces are going to be much, much more productive in your adverts than obviously grumpy faces, i.e. make sure that everything is appealing and that it fits in with the ambience and the feel of what you want people to experience when they're with your products. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because you want to create adverts there that resonate with your audience. You want to make sure you're sticking to as much best practice as you possibly can. The advert you can see on the right is visually descriptive, and also it's got that location for people. Oh, I'm in Edgbaston, so a pizza in Edgbaston that looks good, that someone's enjoying, could be exactly what I'm looking for. Now, you can always do a thing called A/B testing, so you can test different adverts against each other to see which ones work the best for your target audience. And then you can start to, again, refine your approach for display advertising and make sure that you're being as effective as you possibly can be. That's a big topic, but look up A/B testing and again, see how you can make sure that your ads are big. In terms of nuances, we're quite, we're quite fickle, I guess, as human beings. And one thing that appeals here might not appeal there. Changing a color, moving text to one side of the screen to the other, or adjusting it up and down the screen can sometimes make a massive difference. So that's why all of these campaigns are extremely important to test and optimize, and then move along and revise for your next campaign. So always have a time scale to any campaign that you're using. All right, so that's display advertising. Again, can be a very effective way to do things. Let's move into the second pause for questions, and let's see what's been coming in. So we've got Maheen Athar. I have a query regarding the selection of location. How can I ensure I'm putting up a relevant location for the ad? I want to target a larger audience, not one limited to one country. Yes, I mean, absolutely, Maheen. You can really choose the countries. You can, you're paying for the privilege really of being able to really target your ads. So make sure that you are doing your research. Maybe if your website, for example, is linked to Google Analytics and you know the particular cities or areas or countries that your product is most popular in, make sure that you're targeting them. Again, do your research beforehand, understand where most of your customers are coming from, and then target those locations. So I'd say to use a tool like Google Analytics. Hook yourself up to GA4. There's not long left for Universal Analytics now. Get yourself hooked up to GA4, Google Analytics 4, and have a look to see which countries and which areas are driving through your most customers, and then match your targeting and your locations to them. Hope that helps. And Ismail's Eleanor, how do you find out the impressions per week different websites have before you begin an ads campaign? Well, again, there are tools that are available that in the front end of Google Ads that are going to give you a rough estimate. You're not going to probably get an exact figure, but you are likely to get a good overall idea. There was a slide which showed an example of that gives you a rough idea within the Google Ads network, the sites, and perhaps how many clicks those sites are getting through a week. They've signed up to be part of the network, and so therefore they do have tracked the amount of people that kind of visit that site over a given period of time. So I hope that helps with that answer too. You can start to get an understanding of the general traffic numbers. Again, you saw that one of them was 5 million to 10 million impressions a week. That's quite a big gap between 5 and 10 million. There's going to be fluctuations. There's going to be seasonal fluctuations. Lots and lots of factors will influence that. But again, it will give you a rough idea for you to think, yes, that's the kind of market size that I'm looking for that particular website. So do your research. It's really, really, really important to do that and to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're targeting the right locations as asked by Maheen there. So again, use the tools that are available to you. Use Google Analytics. Maybe Alison could put in a link to Google Analytics for us in the chat. And also use tools like Search Console, Google Search Console, to help you understand your ranking and to help you understand, again, perhaps some of the keywords that you're being found for, because that will perhaps help you to decide on some of the keywords for the search advertising, at least, that you're going to be bidding on. Again, it's a big topic, and YouTube could be your friend here. Watch some videos on how other people, perhaps even people in your industry sector, are setting up their ad campaigns for their particular type of business. They can give you some guidance and help you think, yeah, I'd do that because I like that, or no, I wouldn't do that because I don't necessarily agree with the logic. You can start to then build in your own decision-making process. Okay, now we're coming up to the third section, which is social paid advertising. So social media. Who in the chat, again, please, who's already using social paid advertising, who's already advertising on social media channels? Let us know, and let us know which ones that you're using. And let us know if it's been successful for you as well, because it can have a great power because of the amount of people that are actually on social channels. So what is social advertising? It's paying for your posts, for your advertising on social networks like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's known as paid social media advertising or social media marketing, SMM. That's the one that I kind of use mostly, SMM, or social media marketing. So again, I'll let a few of those come in. If anyone is already advertising on social media, or anyone's used advertising on social media, you'll see that it's very, very effective. And as I say, that's because the volume of people that are now on social media platforms, I mean, it's absolutely huge, millions and billions in some cases. So you can see the potential in terms of identifying and reaching the market of customers that are after products or services like yours. Now, why do we want to use social advertising? Then we might want to drive broad awareness of our business. We might create adverts with a specific objective to get our audience to maybe like our page or to share our page and to start to grow our awareness. Now, it's quite important, and we'll come up to this in a moment, about the differences between organic and paid social media, because there is one big important factor to bring to mind, which is this. When you're comparing your social media presence and you've got an organic social media presence, so you're just posting, so you've signed up for your account and you're just posting, but you're not paying to post, then your reach, your ability to hit and to influence new people, new customers, a new market is very, very limited indeed. Because as it says on the screen there, views, actions, or clicks from posts are free. But that means that you reach a very limited set of people. And again, something perhaps to put into a search engine is social media organic growth. If you have a look at that, you'll see that social media organic growth is very, very small indeed. Because of the amount of people that are on social media platforms, then it's good business sense for those platforms to now charge you to really hit the optimum amount of customers that you want to be able to reach. That's important. That's just business. Because paid social media, you pay for views, actions, or clicks from your posts or from your adverts. Your adverts can and will appear in more places, and you can potentially, we're using all of those targeting options, you can potentially reach pretty much anybody. And again, that's the key. You pay for the privilege. So therefore, maybe it is a good idea to consider a thing called a blended approach, whereby perhaps if your business is seasonal and maybe you get more interest at particular times of the year than others, and you're building your campaigns to lead up to that particular time of year or times of year, then it can be quite important to perhaps pay at times and then hopefully boost your overall traffic and your overall reach by being really strategic when you do that. So you can post organically, and hopefully that will start to build some more traction for your most social media profiles with the fact that you're paying for some times of the year as well. So you don't have to spend a fortune, but what you can do is, it's a really good tactic, a really good strategic concept to kind of mix and match, so that you're trying to build your overall presence and your overall network by organic posting. But again, the reach is very limited, but then paying at certain times, because that will broaden your awareness. Then more people will hopefully find you. Then more people will hopefully click on and share you. And thus more people will then start to become aware of your organic postings and listings as well. So this is a really important and big topic, which again, there's no real quick or easy answer to, but be strategic. And again, do your research online. Think about how you're going to reach people, how quickly perhaps your business goals need you to reach your ideal audience or your ideal kind of target audience. Work in what you need to achieve. And again, that may well include some type of early investment. It's really, really worth considering. It's really, really worth building into your strategy overall, because of that mix of, you know, when you're paying, you're potentially reaching anyone. So it's something really, really important to bear in mind. Now, what's the difference and why are some of these things important, and what's the feel of the page like? Well, it is different when you're using organic social media and you're using paid social media. You do have some differences on screen. Now, on the left, we've got the organic Facebook post, and on the right, we've got a sponsored post. Sponsored post is the post that you've paid for. Now, there are key visible differences there. There's more to capture your imagination. There are more words that you can read. There's more room for you to put your compelling messages to get people to click through. One of the things that's really, really important about social media is the attention span that we as humans now have, or perhaps don't have, in terms of how quickly we want to move on to other things. And social media feeds are often fast moving, if you've noticed that. And what do we use? We use our thumb to scroll. Now, we can perhaps do that a little bit, just flicking through, not paying a great deal of attention. So what do we need? We need a good advert that's going to catch people's attention. We've got to find something that's going to stop people in their tracks. And on that basis, general attention spans now for a human are around 8 seconds. But on social media, that attention span can actually go down to about 3 seconds. So you've really got about 3 seconds to capture people's attention and to make them want to use your service. So employing any visual enhancements that you can, more descriptions, more enticements to draw the customer through, can very, very much work to your advantage. That is also highlighted here. So I'm a big fan of trainers. I go online and I buy trainers quite often. It is my way to do it. I know the size of my foot. I'm not too bothered about trying things on. So I'm an ideal person for this type of advertising. So I like the trainers on the left, and they're great. And I might want to go and buy those. But what that means for the advert on the left-hand side for the post on the left-hand side is that I'm going to have to come out of my social media profile. I'm going to have to launch a browser. I'm going to have to go to the Adidas original website. I'm then going to have to navigate through probably men's, women's, or unisex trainers. I'm then going to have to find those trainers and buy them. Now, that can be, if I'm in a hurry, that could be quite a lengthy process and something that I might not have the patience to do, or something that I just don't have time to do at that point. So the key difference that you can see on the page when you look at the right-hand side example is, again, a really nice pair of trainers there, something that makes my, figuratively, makes my mouth water, and I'd like those trainers, please. All I have to do there, because I'm paying for the privilege, the paid advert, is I can click on Shop Now. And what's that Shop Now going to do? In one click, that's going to take me right through to that particular product. So that's effective. And when we were talking before about the user experience and the user journey, coming out of the profile, going on the website, finding the particular section, finding the product, could be quite a number of clicks. But there I do one click, Shop Now, I'm through to the page. I can click on Buy Now when I'm on to the particular web page, and I've got them in a couple of clicks. So from a convenience and from a speed perspective, that is going to be really, really important to a lot of people. So think again about how your audience works and what might be the best sales tactic to get them to buy that product. And it could be having a Shop Now button, which is available on your paid social media advertising. And another example there as well. So we can see that, again, visually, you've got more ability to use calls to action. You've got more areas that you can click through on. You've got more information that you can include, and it is going to be more appealing to the user overall. Now, in terms of where should I advertise, it can be quite a challenge, really, to decide on what social network to focus on. And it is better. Less is kind of more here in terms of the fact, again, as a user experience, if I were to go onto a website and it's got lots of social media options at the top, and I click on those social media options and none of them are populated, or maybe one or two are, but there are lots of blank profiles, that's a credibility issue for me, and I'm probably not going to use that business. If you've got a social media channel, use it, populate it, keep it current, show your customers that you're being current. And that means that, there are 100, 200 different social media channels. We know about 10, 11 of them because they're the most popular, but not all of them are going to be used by your customers. Your customers are not going to be on all of them. So find the ones that work for your particular customers. Again, use Google Analytics to see which channels are driving people through, and then maybe focus on the most popular. So in terms of social media advertising, we want to choose our objective. And again, we want to think about our audience in a really, really important and key way. So where is our audience? Insights. Use insights. So analytics, we talked about Google Analytics, but now we're on social media. For all of the major social media platforms, you're going to have a thing called insights. So use your insights to understand the age ranges of the customers that are clicking through, whether they're split between women and men, what the split might well be, what your particular audience size might well be. There are lots and lots of tips and intelligence that you can pick up really from your insights page to help you really focus your adverts and make sure that they're hitting the spot with your audience. It's a really, really important part of your overall strategy. So use your insights to learn about your customers and then make sure that you build your ads appropriately. Another thing that you can do that is sometimes a bit overlooked is to look at what your competitors are doing. What are they doing well? What are they doing not quite so well? So there's a competitor here for Paulie's Pizzeria, Pizza Rapido. They've got their reviews up, 4.2 over 10 reviews. Not bad. That's pretty good. I'd probably use them based on that review. It gives their address, so you know where to go to. You know where you're walking to. You know how far you've got to travel. It's telling you what time they're open. So if I wanted a pizza at 4 o'clock, I know I'd have to go elsewhere, and I'm not going to waste my time walking down just on a whim, and they're not even open yet. Also, those important calls to action that we were talking about before, you can call now and you can like, but call now. You can give them a call. Have you got, you're open now? Yep, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to travel down from here. Is there parking outside? Think of all of the questions that having a calls to action can actually help you answer for your customers and hopefully help them to choose you. So as I mentioned before, you can see which platforms are being the most effective for you by using things like Google Analytics. Acquisition there in terms of what's driving them through. YouTube and Facebook look to be the most popular channels. Rather than using all 10, we can see that YouTube and Facebook seem to be the most effective. So that's acquisition, all traffic, and then channels. So use all of this information, all of this free data that's available to you to help you make decisions. Now we can also see here our targeting options. So if we think about Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, again, based on everything you put into a social media platform, is everything a marketer can pull out of it in terms of matching up your queries. Then with Facebook, we put in location, gender and age, our interests, and our life events, because that's the kind of stuff that people put into Facebook. For Twitter, we can utilize all of those things as well, but following, because you follow people on Twitter so that you get their latest input as it comes up, as it happens. And then with LinkedIn, because of the nature of LinkedIn, like a bit more of a business to business social media, then you can put in things like job title and skills. So you can then really craft your queries by looking for someone with a particular job title or a particular skill set, because that's the nature of the platform. So in order to perhaps build that up a little bit more. So in blue, we're looking for females who live in Coventry. They like jewelry and they have a birthday coming up. So out of the 3 platforms that we just mentioned there, based on the information that you put in, then interests would be jewelry. And they've also got a life event, which is their birthday. So that's information that you put into Facebook. So therefore, in the blue example there, that's going to be a reasonably effective overview for using Facebook. Now in the middle, you can see the keyword in there probably is following, which is a bit of a giveaway. So therefore that's likely to be the kind of goal for someone using Twitter, because they want to target people who live in Leeds. So they're being very, very location specific. That's important. And they're following their competitors. So they're following competitors. But do your competitor research. Again, look at what other businesses around you are doing that are doing well, and maybe emulate some of that if it's applicable for your business, and build it into your own way of doing it. And then maybe think, okay, they're doing that, but they're doing that not very well, so I'm not going to do that. Competitor research, peer networks are a really good way to understand perhaps how you set your standards and what you would do and what you wouldn't do. So use that logic in there too. And then the example in yellow, I want to target financial directors who work in IT based in the UK. So that's very much LinkedIn, because financial directors is going to be the job title, and who work in IT, particular sector, all information that you can pull out of LinkedIn. All right, so we're coming right towards the end. Again, busy sections there, with lots and lots of considerations, but it's all about your audience. The audience make everything else happen. So do your audience research as an absolute priority. Let's have a look to see if there are any last questions come in. No, there's no questions. Alison's been doing an excellent job in the chat. Thank you so much to Alison for sharing the links and for answering the questions. I can also see from my question before, have you used social media advertising? We've got Ismai's Eleanor. I've tried on Instagram before, but not with much success. Well, hopefully some of the tips and some of the ways that we can target our customers has given you a few ideas today. I mean, Instagram clearly is going to be a very, very visual platform. So use that to your advantage. Use the general logic of the platform, and if you have a visual service or product, then maybe that's the one for you. And always remember, if you're on 1, 2, or 3 different social media platforms, that you don't necessarily share the same message across all of those platforms either. You would tailor it, because each platform speaks slightly differently based on the audience and based on the way that that particular platform is used. So lots and lots and lots of areas for you to look into and to research. So what are your next steps? I think give it a go. I would also say do some more research. Go onto the Google Skillshop site and perhaps take some of the courses there. There's courses on ads that will really, really help you understand the logic of what you're trying to do. Use the Google Digital Garage website. That's g.co/digital garage. That's going to help you understand the key concepts of digital marketing. So the fundamentals of digital marketing. Sign up. It's a free course. And at the end, you can download that certification that I mentioned too. But also go on to the mentoring service. It's available for small businesses or charities in the UK at g.co/UK mentoring. Use that, talk about your business's particular challenges, get answers to some of your questions, some signposting, some useful tips, some useful links that you can use to further your own research and grow your understanding. Fantastic service. Okay, so we're right on 10:30. So I want to say thank you very much indeed. I hope you've enjoyed the session today. I hope you found it useful and that it's going to help you to create some more effective ad campaigns. Please leave us that feedback on GWO.gle/digital garage feedback and let us know what you thought of the session and what we can do to help you further. And hopefully I will see you again soon on another Google Digital Garage training session. And again, thanks very much indeed to Alison, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.